Welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal. And joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend. It is my co-host, Joshua Gangsta Time Cole.
It's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, Chris? What's good, everybody listening?
Oh, yeah. Also joining us is the disembodied voice of our producer. It is Edgelord Big News Brian. Oh, wait. I pulled a Big News Brian and hit the wrong drop. Big News Brian!
What's up?
Was that too shady?
What's up,
you gave me.
Chris,
I'm upset with you now. We're going to have a long talk about this one.
You're right. I'm sorry. Please don't quit on the show. We need you.
I'm out.
No, come back, Brian. Anyway, he's not gonna leave. We're excited to have the show for you guys today. Another short week, only 4 manga. We don't have My Hero this week, but we do have everything else. So let's get into plugs. You could find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD_Cole_37. That's on Instagram. And at NY Chillin', that's with an EN, not an ING. That's on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Brian?
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter.
And
if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming, you can find me on twitch.tv/itspunchline.
Hell yeah. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, especially because we do a really good chapter of the week poll every week. Whenever the Viz official media drops stuff, you know, the official release of the manga, that's when we put out the poll. Vote now, let us know, and we'll reveal the results on the show. You can also email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. We just got our first fan email, which is very sweet, so keep them coming, you guys. Let us know how you feel, and we'll try to implement them in the show. Or you can comment, if you prefer that. Comment on whatever video you're watching, whether it's the full episode that we put out for you guys or the little highlight breakouts that we make for you guys every week. And while you're at it, why don't you subscribe? Hit that subscribe button, that like, share, all the things. All the things these YouTubers tell you to do. And we'd very much appreciate it. It's a little bit of a serotonin spike every time I see it. It's very sweet. And I think that's it. Without further ado, I think we should get this show started. One Piece.
One Piece.
New One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1038, Kid in Law versus Big Mom. Last we left off, we have a cover page thing, a little cover story thing. Apparently, Yanji and Niji were captured by Big Mom's people, and they're in her book of strange creatures. And we see some familiar faces from Big Mom's crew there. Oven is there, and so is Pudding, actually, which I think is important.
I was really, really upset that they caught Niji.
Okay, I'll say this. I think the important thing to glance here, and this is my theory for this overall cover, is I think Pudding's gonna help them escape and go with them. And I think they're going to reunite at some point towards the end of the story via the Germa 66. I have to do a physical representation of the
Right. No, I'm just letting you know I'm in total understanding.
Anyway, into the chapter proper. We start off with Raizo and that ninja guy. They're still doing their mutual paralysis jutsu thing. And this guy
mutual paralysis.
Yeah. This guy is begging Raizo to undo the jutsu because they're petrified in space. They can't escape the surrounding fire. Raizo's already on fire. And this guy is like, undo the jutsu, Raizo, or we'll both die. And Raizo's just standing there like, I guess we both gonna die then.
Yeah, he's okay with that.
Yeah, later, dude.
We went over this, right? He almost boiled already. Like,
yeah, he's currently on fire. He's before the fire got to him. Now he's completely engulfed in flames. And this is Ninja Guy.
Yeah, you're right. Wow, you're absolutely right. And this guy, is he burned yet?
No, he just got the fire on him. He's where Raizo was the last time we saw them. So very momentarily, this guy will also be completely on fire.
Dude, he's toasting right now.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's holding on, man. I mean, respect to Raizo, you know. We cut over to the second floor where the cave is about the ceiling is about to cave in from, I guess, the fire, because the fire is all consuming and is fucking everything up in this place. Because everything in Wano is made out of wood, so easily collapsible.
Pretty much.
The ceiling caves in, and who's there to save friend and foe alike? It's fucking Jinbei. He comes in, holds the ceiling up, and he is deliberately saving these folks. Even like he was gonna save like the samurai because they're on their side, but there seem to be folks on Kaido's side also there that he's trying to save, because he sees it as like it's one thing to die in battle, but these flames are gonna kill scores of men on their own. Scores of men. Meanwhile, on the performance floor, Chibi Chopper comes back to regular Chopper, which is still Schmo. He's still Schmo. And he's like, cool, I guess my Gear 3rd effect is over. I can be back to normal size now. And he immediately goes to Miyagi, the goat doctor. And he starts to talk about how, like, he's worried about Zoro because the medicine they gave them has the shonen protagonist healing effect, which is, it'll heal you completely for like 25 minutes, and then after, it'll be worse than before. So that's
you're gonna fight like a Soul Reaper and die like an insect.
Yeah.
Right?
That's how it goes.
You lose all the blood, but when your Rayatsu's up,
yeah.
Zoro will be alright though.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the devil, he's out there right now. He can't move, and all he can see is what looks like the Grim fucking Reaper here to collect his soul. And he can't move. So I guess we're supposed to think this is actually the canonical death of One Piece, like the death figure.
I'm wondering, like, is this like a real thing happening right now? Is this
my bet? It's Brook.
Metaphorical.
Why do I feel like this is Brook for some reason? I don't know. Yeah, why do I feel like
that'd be really funny if he's just hallucinating?
Yeah, and it's just Brook. He's just like, "What are you doing?" He's just like in his regular clothes, and Zora's just like, "I see the devil."
He looks like Brook. Look at his skull.
That's what I think.
And you could argue that that's the hair under. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like it's Brook.
Maybe that's just how he just draws those skeletons like that.
I mean, there's only so many ways you could draw a skeleton. They all kind of look the same. Meanwhile, Frankie's looking for Zoro and he doesn't know where Zoro went, so he's just trying to blitz through all the bad guys that are around. Izo gets a little moment. He jumps from the crawl space to the basement floor. He's a little fucked up. He got a little careless in the big battle. And he turns around because he hears like a footstep. And it turns out it's the CP0 guys, both of them. And they identify themselves and they say, and you know what? They just let Izo go, which is interesting. Where they're like, we don't have time to deal with you right now. I know we're not supposed to be letting fucking Whitebeard crew members escape, but right now we're prioritizing the Straw Hat Pirates. So they're about to bounce, and then Izo stops them, and he says, "No, CP0, don't go yet."
And some information that I want to snitch. I hope not.
Well,
I don't know why you're talking to the coppers.
Well, you're 0 for 1 on snitching accusations, so I don't know.
He could be just trying to hold them up.
Yeah.
But they're not going to care about him wanting to fight them. He's probably going to, like, taunt them with information.
Yeah.
Dangle it like a carrot in front of them.
Yeah. I wonder what he wants.
But if he tells, he's a rat.
He is a rat if he tells.
Fucking rat, I say.
A rat, I say. Meanwhile, at the Armory Castle basement, Yamato makes it literally right on time to like link up with the fucking flame monster that's coming directly down on the big cartoony bombs that Kaido keeps around. He freezes them with his ice powers as whatever mythical creature he is. And that's pretty sweet, I guess. The ice prevents the fire from breaching through right away and gives Yamato the ability to the opportunity to just try and swat this fucking thing off of the explosives. But the fucking fire monster grows hands and I guess throws a fire punch at Yamato, which is pretty wild. Meanwhile, on the performance floor,
I breathe fire on it. I don't know. Was that a punch? Yeah, it was.
He said there were hands, like he's sprouting hands. If you see that little panel in the corner.
Oh yeah, he says hands. Yeah, you're right. You know what? I actually skipped over that.
Yeah, I mean it's a small panel.
Good catch. Yeah. It's a good catch. It's a whole fucking speech bubble. Anyway,
yeah. Big Mom, meanwhile, on the performance floor is absolutely just like taking Kid and Law's lunch right now. She's beating them down. Their crew members are begging her to stop because they can't move right now. And
please, all right, they lost. Just right. Let us heal them.
They good. You good. You good.
You got it.
You good.
You got it.
Please, they've had enough. And she floats away. She's like, fine, I guess I'm done here. And the other crew members are going over to help their captains, but she beats the shit out of them too with her lightning powers. She's like, nope, no Heelys for these boys. And then as Big Mom is floating away, she's actually kind of getting tired at the moment because Kid and Eustace are like not Kid and Eustace, Law and Kid are wearing her down, it seems. But she thinks the battle is over, but then Law uses Kroom, which is the awakened version of the Op fruit. He applies it to his sword and does like a power pole extend type thing directly through Big Mom's arm and through her chin. Which is, honestly, I like this panel a lot for some reason. I think it's a really well-drawn panel.
The people say Big Mom's dead, and I immediately looked at the picture and looked at what they said and was like,
whoa.
Yeah, she died. She got stabbed in the fucking head.
But
is there a thing? Is that a thing that doesn't kill her?
Well, I think Law... It is weird what Law... because...
It's because of the awakening.
Right.
It's so, under Law's room, so it's not really, an actual stab. It's more like it's passing through her and attacking her from the inside.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like Armament... It's kind of like Rio, but as a devil fruit.
Right.
Yeah, so the thing with Big Mom is that, she's super sturdy on the outside. And that's why Law's attacks in particular are a bad matchup for her, because he can attack her from the inside. Which is what he does here. He basically phases his sword into her and delivers a shockwave from within. So that's why he's able to deal the amount of damage that he can on her. He's pretty much the perfect matchup against Big Mom, honestly. And meanwhile, Kid is in the background just magnetizing all of her I-beam homies that she created. And making it part of the big giant bull mech that he usually makes. This is probably his elephant gun equivalent when Luffy goes into third gear. And he just charges after Big Mom and just collides her into a wall. And that's where the chapter ends. Big 2-page spread of Kid and Law declaring that they'd rather die than let her go up to the roof. And that's where the chapter ends. A lot more happened than just Law and Kid versus Big Mom. There was a lot of establishing the plot and jumping around. But yeah, with that being said, I think we're going to throw it over to thoughts. Joshua Cole, what did you think about this chapter?
Okay, so I had a very small amount of respect for Kid and a mild respect for Law. It's not that Law's weak or nothing. It's just that, as crazy as his ability is, he really should be a much bigger deal. I think this is one of those characters. I'll get to my point in a second. As far as lore goes, like, I think he's one of those characters that Oda just really liked and thought of this cool ass idea for just, like a rival or a peer, like to Luffy. And it just, maybe he didn't think too much about it. The fact that his ability lets him do like wild shit like this, like send shockwaves through people's body and warp things around. I just think his ability is, I'm pretty sure we talked about this before, but he has like the greatest ability in One Piece and probably like in a lot of other series too. You know what I'm saying? He's a reality warper. He's like your boy Prometheus.
Yeah.
You know, he could be an X-Men, bro.
He is.
He could be an X-Men.
Yeah.
Law's an X-Men. I said it. So with that said, like I've never been that impressed by like their feats because they haven't really taken anybody out in particular. Not that I can remember. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I like how Oda's not letting them fall flat. I thought it was mad weird that they was just knocked the fuck out and then got up. I was gonna criticize it, but I never go that hard on One Piece ever. I always reserve certain thoughts because I feel like it's rewarding in the end.
Yeah.
It's good enough to overlook slight disagreements, I don't know, or inconsistencies if like the end result is just going to be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think, I don't know, I was a little excited for this fight and I was a little bit excited for this fight, and then I seen Oda found a way to make Kid even a metal manipulator like Kid is going to succumb to Oda's will and use animals as part of his special move. I thought that was incredible. I really thought, like, I was thoroughly impressed with Oda. Not surprised. And it makes total sense. I mean, he could morph his metal into a bunch of other things, and yeah, he made it an animal for his greatest move yet. Yeah. I can't wait to see what's next. Maybe he'll create more machine. Maybe he'll make Voltron or something. Yo! If Kid makes Voltron with a bunch of metal or something like that, like a morphin. Yeah, I don't know why I did Jutsu hand sign, but I'm excited.
I mean, bro. I guess you transform. Yeah.
Yeah. Cypher Fold is around doing stuff still, so it's super interesting. I like this chapter a lot.
Yeah. Brian, what did you think?
I thought this was a really awesome chapter, to be honest. I wouldn't say it's RGC.
Really awesome.
It was really fun to see like some random bullshit. Basically, like, I'm pretty sure it is Brook as well. Like, he's under disguise with Robin under his coat or some shit. Like, I could see that happening.
That's true. He's hiding Robin because the CP0's after her directly.
That's a good point, Brian.
I think what it's going to end up being is maybe like Frankie, Robin, and Brook versus Cypher Pole.
Yo!
That would be fucking crazy.
I mean, there's two of them. They're just going to gang up on them.
Those two are fucking...
Yeah, no, for sure.
CP9 is...
They pirates. The fuck?
Plus CP0 is like a next level from CP9, and we were struggling against those guys.
No fair ones. I don't care. Straw Hat's gonna fold them up. They won't jump them.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be great.
Also, they took out like X Drake and almost Apu, like no problem.
They're chumps.
They are chumps.
Loose change.
They are.
I mean, they're stronger, but those two are stronger than most of the Straw Hats.
Maybe. It's hard to power scale them because they got dealt with so easily.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
I mean,
I don't want to be that way.
Apu's kind of a wild card.
Yeah.
But X Drake being a dinosaur, which is technically an animal, and in the One Piece series, I guess he is a cut above everybody else that's not an animal or the top three.
Yeah, so, he is superior.
I guess that puts him over, like, Robin.
Yeah.
Yes, Usopp. Not Chopper, because he's an animal, too.
Yeah. If you're done, Brian, I guess I'll, like, move on to mine. I like this chapter quite a bit. It's funny. The amount of jumping around in this final battle, it's a lot. This battle has been going on since like before the 1000th chapter, and like it feels like very chaotic and kinetic, and it feels, it is like just such a bigger scale every time he does these arcs, where there's so many moving pieces that Oda is controlling at one point. I think it gives off the illusion that the Straw Hats are kind of easily going through this, because there's a consensus online that they're just like walking through Kaido's men right now.
A lot of they're neglecting all of the setup that led to this.
Yeah,
Oda puts in the groundwork. I mean,
I agree with that. I think it
was really hard for them to get to this point.
For sure. I mean, people also neglect that. In theory, they have a cumulative month on this island before this raid began training. And Luffy specifically training in Ryuo. So, and even still, he got his ass whooped a second time by Kaido. It's not that easy. It only feels easy because, there's so much happening at one time that we don't focus on any particular battle for a very long time. So, in theory, fights are longer than they seem. So, Sanji and Zoro have been fighting King and Queen for longer than their individual fight when they began. You know what I mean? So, I think people are kind of neglecting that. It's hard to keep track because this is a very long arc, and a lot of things come in and out of the mind. But I guess I just wanted to comment on that real fast. I guess we're coming to a head because this fucking fire thing's in the basement now. So things have really got to get settled quickly. But I am enjoying this. I do enjoy the battle between Kid and Law and Mom, Big Mom. I think it is smart to build that Law as one of the few people that can actually beat her strictly because the hungrier Big Mom gets, and I guess she isn't hungry right now, but when she's in this form, she's just so super duper durable. Probably even more so than maybe Kaido at this point, because people have said that she's basically got indestructible skin. So Law being able to come in from within and attack from within to weaken her is pretty cool. Very smart use of his ability. As far as
if I could cut in real quick.
Yeah.
I think something that maybe we could all agree on is that Big Mom may have a higher talent, I guess we'll call it, than Kaido. I think her power is vastly superior because what's Kaido's? Dragon? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Yeah. It's cool, but he would have been the thug anyway. But Kaido is just clearly the better fighter.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably a lot smarter than her too.
Yeah, I mean he's the boss of this. Also,
he knew to this. He true to this.
Yeah, I'll say this about the OP-ness of Law's ability, and it's funny because when you really break down what Law can do with his power, I wouldn't call it. I feel like reality manipulation is a little bit extreme for what he can do. Because the most we've ever seen him do is kind of just warp things within the rooms that he's created. He can keep people alive and, take them apart and keep them alive in this room. He can't just automatic. He doesn't get super strength from this at all. He doesn't get any additional stats.
Right. But in the X-Men series alone, there's different types of reality warpers, right? There's psionic ones, what's his name? Xavier's son. Got his name already. Legion. You know what I'm saying? Where his reality distortion happens in the mind, and how his mind could affect the world around him and other people's. It's more of a mental thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas I guess Prometheus, it's more chemical, I think. He can create new elements and shit and make things work differently than they're supposed to. So it's mechanically, I don't know the word for it, but kinetic, whatever. He I don't know. I think taking someone apart into pieces is warping reality. But then again, you have someone like Buggy who's fruit allows him to be into pieces, and we wouldn't call that warping reality. So you're right. I think his ability is pretty defined.
Yeah,
as far as what he can manipulate. Huh?
It's really strong, and that's for sure. And there are, if you have enough hockey, you can have a resistance to what he can do to you in the room.
The way I see, you know what? I didn't think about that. I didn't really consider that. But what I was going to say is that the function of the room, in my opinion, is that he creates. It's almost like with Jujutsu Kaisen, where he creates a domain, and if you're in it, that's GG. But I guess if you have a strong enough hockey or will or whatever it is that can resist, that can resist it, I guess you're fine.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously he's not doing that to Big Mom.
Right? What would you say, Brian?
Virgil was able to resist it, right, for the most part, until
Virgil was able to resist it because he, at the time, had the most hockey. Like, he was known for specifically having very high amounts of like hockey control. So
who?
Virgo, remember from Punk Hazard all the way back?
Oh, Virgo, that's his name, not Virgil.
The guy he cut in half, along with the big with Caesar Clown's factory. That was over 400 chapters ago. I was
I can't believe you don't remember that, Josh.
I can't believe you don't remember 400 chapters ago, Josh.
Come on, bro. What do you think,
What's
bro?
going on here?
You can't remember 400 chapters, Josh?
How dare you not have
Jesus Christ, yo.
Not an encyclopedic.
It was really that long ago?
Yeah, man. Dude, that was 2012.
There's 36 weeks in a year, roughly. Roughly.
No?
Let's say that.
36
chapters is a year, bro. And not even because he be taking breaks. But let's just give him that. Let's say 36 fucking chapters a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
36. All right. Alright. So 400 divided by 36. I don't feel like doing math right now.
Yeah, I don't know why you started.
Listen, it's a lot of years. It's a lot of years.
It is a lot of years. That came out in 2012 because I remember that.
It's like over 10. That was like 10 years ago.
I remember that because that's when Viz went digital with Shonen Jump releases.
Oh my god!
They did it at the start of like Punk Hazard.
There's no way that was 10 years ago.
No, it wasn't.
That was less than 10 years ago.
It wasn't 10 years
to give
ago.
you some context. We've been in Wano for 5 years.
We have not been in Wano for 5.
It started in 2018.
Brian,
it started in 2018.
Stop it. I know the exact chapter that it started in.
I'm literally looking at it. It says 2018.
No way.
That's not 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. 4 years ago.
It's 4
my
years
bad.
ago. Hey.
Oh, shit.
Whoops. It's my bad, bro. 4 years is much less.
Anyway. Point being, you should feel ashamed of yourself.
Wow. Wow, that's life right there, man.
Yeah.
Measured in One Piece chapters.
Yeah, I mean, One Piece is technically just as old as Brian is.
Yeah, me and One Piece go way back.
Brian is...
Oh, you feel special about that, Brian.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know what?
I
think it was also released on September as well. Just saying.
Oh, all right. I feel pretty good about that.
Just
now.
saying.
All right. All right. So what's your
I don't know, man. September is just kind of the best best month ever. You know, September '97.
Now I feel special too because I was September.
He was
baby,
also born in September.
What's up, Chris? What's up, Chris?
There you go.
Damn, Chris. Come on, bro.
Thank you.
Stop it.
Thank you, bro.
3 months off, bro. 3 months off.
You don't think
from greatness?
You don't think I regret every single day that I wasn't born in September, the same month that One Piece came out? I feel like Code.
You know, bro, you're right. That was out of line. I made a wild assumption that you wouldn't have been dreading that every day of your life.
I feel like Code.
By the way, I was
sorry.
You know how Code is like, I worship the Momoshiki, the Otsutsuki,
yeah.
And I can only be just this guy. I'm never gonna be an Otsutsuki. That's how I feel.
By the way, One Piece actually. Oh no, the first volume came out. Never mind.
In July?
No. The first volume came out on Christmas.
When did the first
I'm
chapter
trying to
come
find
out?
out when the first chapter came out.
A moment of truth. But I guess in the meantime,
July. It did come out in July.
Dog! One Piece started on my birth month!
Wait. No, Chris. It's even crazier. July 19th.
Stop it! That's the day before my birthday.
What's going on?
Ah!
Can we move on from One Piece? I'm over it.
I can.
We get into some Jujutsu Kaisen.
Hold on. Before we do that, this was actually the audience voted RGC.
Certified
Wow.
RGC. Certified
Wow.
RGC. Certified RGC.
Deserved.
I'm only surprised because it wasn't Black Clover.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, is Black Clover off this week? I was just about to ask.
it's on. It was on the poll, too.
Tell me you ain't read Black Clover without telling me you ain't read Black Clover.
Yeah. One Piece won, and you know what? Well deserved. Good chapter. I enjoyed it a lot. Tell us what you guys think in the comments below, if you're so inclined. And without further ado, let's move onward.
You ain't giving the RGC?
No, it's not my RGC this week.
Wow.
Damn it, Josh. All right, let's move on. You didn't give it the RGC. Anyway, let's move onward. Jujutsu Kaisen. This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 173, Tokyo #1 Colony, part 13. Last we left off, Reggie got his jugular vein surgically removed by a wolf's jaw. So he's not having a good time. He's bleeding out. And Reggie's actually just kind of breaking it down out loud because he can't believe what just happened to him. He's just like, the domain and the pool concealed that you had the dog. Fuck. He was like, you didn't flee into the gym, you lured me in.
A modern day sorcerer.
Yeah, I don't know if this was like known already. But
He's an old guy.
yeah, he's an ancient sorcerer. I didn't know that.
Yo, all right, yeah.
I mean, if we overread something and didn't see that he already mentioned he was an ancient sorcerer, I apologize, but we didn't notice until just now. But that's cool. So yeah, he's just like, you lured me into the gym. And he's like, yeah, I couldn't really run away. Nue can't carry people for a long time. So, only had a limited time and I chose that gym. So he asks Reggie what his relationship to Master Tengen is. And he's like, Tengen? Oh, yeah, that shut-in would be alive. So I guess from that, Megami gathers that...
Well, pencil head?
Yeah, he looks more like an eraser. Like...
Me not gonna call him Eraserhead out of respect to
the Eraserhead movie.
Eye Patch Zawa.
Oh, why?
That's his name, Eraserhead.
Oh, I thought you said Eye Patch something else. Whatever. Yeah, I know what you mean. Eraserhead. You're right. My bad. Anyway, so Pencilhead is, he doesn't seem that he's friendly with him. Megami was actually considering the idea that Tengen was lying to them the whole time. Because he trusts no one. Never. So in his dying moments, Reggie gives Megami all his points, which are 41 points at this point. And he reveals that, the reason he did it is, considered a good deed before death. And that he's not really affiliated with Kenjaku all that much. He knows them, but they're not close. And he feels like it'll be more interesting if Megami stays in the game for as long as possible. That means giving him more points. So there's that. Reggie dies. And also Megami, I guess on top of that, gets 5 points for killing him. Meanwhile, in the battle of the Exploding Teeth Man versus Comedian.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. We start off with an explosion. Exploding Tooth Man is just trying to kill this guy. And he's like, there's a massive explosion. He's like, did I get him? And then, I forget his name because it's been a couple chapters, but Comedian guy pulls up and is like, no, stay sharp. I think his name is Hakaba. I think that's what his name is. He's like, no, stay sharp, because I'm a tough bugger. And he tries to punch him, And he makes this face where he's just like, as the punch slides off of him. What? Did you just realize something?
Yes.
What did you realize?
So Toru Gojo. All right, we're gonna get to it.
Okay, yeah. Let's get to
I
it.
must not, yo, dude. I must have. I guess I was reading this shit in a rush.
Yeah. Okay, so he's like, "Why are you covered in lotion?" And he's like, "Maybe it's ankake sauce." And then he realizes, like, "Oh shit, it is ankake sauce." And Exploding Teeth Man doesn't even know what to do because, like, he actually feels like he blew him up several times and he's taken no damage except for the little tuft of hair on his head. And then all of a sudden Kogane appears and tells Hazanoki is Exploding Teeth Man's name. He tells Hazanoki that Reggie Star has died. And at that moment he's like, "Ah, shit. Well, I'm going home. I've had enough of this shit." And Hakuba is like, "Okay, cool. Take a bath. Don't forget to brush your teeth." And then he remembers that Megumi told him to get all his points. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, man, give me all your points." And he keeps following him as we get an explanation of Takuba's fucking cursed technique.
Yo.
Okay, so we were a little off. Our prediction was that, like, if a joke of his bombs, like, that joke becomes a reality to a degree, I think, or whatever. It just makes him stronger, or whatever the fuck it is. Apparently, his actual power is that whenever he comes up with something that he's certain will be funny, it becomes reality. And apparently, it's a cursed technique capable of opposing even Satoru Gojo. My God. But when it comes to his own curse technique, he doesn't seem to have any awareness that that's how it works at all. So, there's that. Meanwhile, we cut over to the Scorpion Girl running away, and she's thinking about, like, how, they say that men are wolves, but it's always a wolf who clears things up for me, like referring to, I guess, like, dude she's known in the past, and I guess Reggie as well, because she's so cute. She's always been able to get by on her looks, but now she's actually being hunted down by a wolf, and as she's about to get eaten by the devil dog that Megumi uses, we get a little, like, flash of, I guess, Megumi's sister going, "No, Megumi." And he dissipates the devil dog. And she's just like, "You're letting me go?" And he's like, "I guess." Shut up. And that's when he faints on the ground. And who comes to, I guess, intercept Megumi? But the angel sorcerer, which is also pretty wild.
Wasn't that someone they were supposed to look for anyway?
Yep, that's the person who can help unseal Gojo. So they've been looking for this person this whole time. If I remember right, I feel like that's the case. They were looking for somebody to help undo the box thing that Geto did on Gojo. But with that being said, we don't see what happens to Megumi from there. As we cut over to Sendai City, which is a different zone of the culling game, as we're introduced to about 4 other sorcerers. One of which, his name is Daruv Lakadawala, who's this weird monk type guy. His whole thing, he's like, whoa. His whole thing is that he has 2 types of independent Shikigami, and their orbiting trajectories constitute his domain. So in the beginning, when we see, like, these bigger shots of what is the culling game right now, there are these 2 Shikigami just, like, roaming around. They're fucking giant kaiju monsters, basically. And I guess they belong to him. We have now Ryu Ishigori, who is a hotshot who boasts he has the highest cursed energy output out of all of the sorcerers. There's Takako Uro, who is the former leader of an assassin group, and she has the ability to control the sky. My God.
Whatever that means.
And then there's Beru.
That's very vague.
Yeah. And then there's Beru from Solo Leveling.
Right.
No, his name is Kurorushi, who's a cockroach cursed spirit whom Kenjaku freed from cursed spirit manipulation. So, it's a special rank grade.
Why did Kenjaku free from cursed spirit manipulation?
Oh my God. Your disdain for bugs is so you can turn the page. You don't have to look at it. So yeah, apparently, like, instead of forming an alliance between the four, they decided fuck that, and they decided they found themselves in a standoff. Ultimately, one did fall, and it's the weird.
It's lying dormant until certain conditions disappear.
That's
what?
We'll get to. Oh my God! I just noticed it.
Too creepy.
I just noticed how its arms are. They're like a.
Yes.
No, that's so weird. I don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Anyway, so, instead of like forming an alliance, they all said, fuck that. We're going to fuck each other up. And unfortunately, one of them ran into Okotsu and he got slashed. And he's dead. So they explain that Yuto Okotsu, he has 35 points right now, which means he's killed at least 7 people because sorcerers are worth 5 points each. In the 3 months after the night parade, 100 demons, Yuta came back to become a special grade sorcerer, second only to Satoru Goju in unusual abilities. And that's where the chapter ends. This was a very cool chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen. I love this like introduction of new characters. The best part of this whole arc has been just the new characters and how fucking dope they all are. So this has just been, I'm just excited for more. I guess it sends the bug, but instead, in that case, I guess I'm gonna throw it over to
Sends the bug. I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah. Let's throw it over to more deeper thoughts. Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
This is my RGC.
Whoa. Just real quick, Brian, is this your RGC?
Yes, sir.
And it is also mine. It is a unified, really good chapter of the week. Unified RGC.
Unified RGC. Unified RGC.
Let's go.
Literally one of my favorite drops I've ever made. It's so good. But yeah, unified, really good chapter. That means it's a unanimous vote for our favorite chapter of the week. Amongst the hosts of the show. It was not the RGC of the audience, which you can vote on our Twitter. If you follow us there at New Jump City, you can vote on your favorite, and maybe we'll get a harmonic convergence RGC, which I have to make a drop for because it has happened before where all of us have agreed. But in that case, yeah. What are your thoughts overall then, Josh?
All right. This was a lit-ass transition chapter. I had a few more thoughts about Reggie, because I don't know if they're going to come back to him, but I guess I just wanted to give like a few final thoughts.
Well, he is dead, so I don't think...
I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess about his relation to the plot. I wonder why it was revealed, why it was kept like a secret that he was, that he was a old age sorcerer. And I'm not gonna lie, by the way he was, I guess, talking, like his dialogue and even his ability on receipts. I mean, I guess there were receipts 100 years ago, right? I mean, obviously.
I think you can
however
apply
long it was.
Well, you can apply it to anything. It's not necessarily specifics to receipts. It's like any, I guess, kind of contract. And
oh, that is what he said. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. I guess I would look that. No. Well, I guess that solves that mystery. It doesn't solve the mystery of why he decided to like not make that clear until the very end. Mm-hmm. I wonder if there's any significance to that. I feel like all of the people that are helping the good guys so far are new sorcerers. The comedian guy's a new sorcerer. The hammer guy's a new sorcerer. And am I missing someone? No, that's everyone else that's pretty much new that they give a spotlight on. I don't know about Scorpion Girl, but she a dub anyway. She belonged to the wolves, aka the streets. Nah, man, I guess I'll be honest. I don't really have too many deep thoughts on this chapter. I just thought it was a really fun read. I thought it was dope learning about the comedian's ability. This was like the third time he's done this in the series, and then he does it a fourth time again at the end of this chapter with a Kotu. Talking about second best to Goju, which, remember, Gojo is untouchable and unbeatable unless you have the specific seal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, he dropped that bomb about the comedian being being on par with Gojo, essentially. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
I like when he does that.
Yeah. Brian, what did you think?
I'm missing something? Nope.
Okay.
That's everything.
Brian, what did you think about this chapter?
I think this chapter just reinforces everything that I believe about Jujutsu Kaisen and it being the most consistent manga in Shonen Jump right now. There is no manga more consistent than this one. Even One Piece. Like, cause this series, I can't think of a chapter that I didn't have a good time reading of Jujutsu Kaisen. I literally can't. Even though it's not winning like back to back fucking well, recently it has been, but even though it hasn't always been getting RGCs,
I got the
like
numbers right
it's
here.
still fun to read. These chapters have been always fun to read. Jujutsu Kaisen is always consistently, even if it's not amazing, it's always fun, no matter what. And that's what you can always appreciate about Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, you can always appreciate it no matter what week it comes out. And that's the kind of shit that you can love about it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I don't know what Akutami has been on lately, but he has been on fucking fire, in all honesty. So, good for him. I mean, there's been a stretch, even like right before the Culling game, where there's been a stretch where it was like a lot of build up, just a lot of like getting things in order before we got into the good stuff. And man, did we get into the good stuff.
Sure did.
Outside of, I guess, the Reggie stuff, which, of course, fantastic all the way around. I think generally people don't go around advertising that they're ancient type sorcerers, I guess. Like, it's not the first thing you would say to somebody, I suppose. Because that would imply, I guess, an alliance to Gojo. So I think like they tend to keep that under their hat for the most part.
Right.
As far as this chapter is my RGC based on like just Hakaba, or Takaba. I'm sorry, did I get that wrong? It's Takaba. Yeah, he's just like such a fucking funny character. I do love it.
Yeah, with a beast ass ability.
Yeah, and I think like there's something interesting. I think like it's only helped. Like I think it's only stronger because he has no awareness of it. Because like if he's aware of what triggers his curse technique, then I think like he would have a harder time activating it.
Right, it wouldn't come as easy to him because he's. You know what? It's funny because I wonder if you connected, if you maybe like thought about it a little bit deeper as someone that's done like comedy and stuff, that maybe his ability was a response to him wanting to be funny off of just his natural jokes. So once he learns that it's like if he learns about what his ability really does, it's like kind of learning that, oh, you're funny. Mm-hmm. So I guess some people, take that in stride and and continue to be funny, but maybe some people overthink it and like, oh, I'm a funny guy. I need to be funny. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I think the idea is that he has to believe it's funny in order for it to be real. And like, I think when you get too conscious about anything, really, like, there can't be any self-doubt when you do this kind of thing. You know, like you have to be confident and all that stuff. And if he connects his like ability to be funny, or it's probably like irrelevant if it's actually funny or not. And that's the real caveat. He has to believe at the bottom of his heart that what he's doing is funny in order for the curse technique to work. So he can't, like, if he becomes aware that that's what the trigger is, he'll just start trying to be funny as opposed to trying to let it flow through him naturally.
Right. Thanks for articulating.
Yeah.
What I was trying to say.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to do it because I was struggling to find the words, but I think that's the truth. It's just, it's really funny. That's actually kind of a parallel, you know, to actually doing comedy. It's just, you got to be like natural about it. You can't.
You're confident, be yourself.
Yeah, don't be like overconfident. I mean, I'm not anything, but if there's any advice, you know, just like your stuff and you'll figure it out. It's a marathon, not a race. But enough with the comedy class. Great chapter overall. I fucking love Jujutsu Kaisen. And without further ado, I suppose we can move on from here. Yeah.
Naked Sky Lake.
Yeah, if you guys like this chapter or you didn't like this chapter, let us know in the comments what you think. And if you want us to address them on the show, let us know. Ask us questions about it, how we felt about certain things. Let us know. We would love to respond. But without further ado, let's move onward. Black Clover. This is Black Clover chapter 321, Excuses.
Yo, there's a song in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's called "We're Gonna Take You for a Ride."
Uh-huh.
You could play that song in the background while reading this manga, and it would just be perfect.
Is it because he's taking him on a ride?
Dude, like we're on a ride. That's what this whole
I'm gonna take you for a ride
against this devil guy is. You just need to just completely believe that there's a way and that it's gonna happen. You know it's gonna happen, and you have to enjoy the process of it.
Yeah.
Scrutiny is just let it take you for a ride.
Oh my god. Dude, you know what it is? I locked eyes with a certain panel and I nearly lost it. And the very first page, or the second page, not the very first page, but the first page, we start off with Seke, the copper, I think, if I remember right. He's the copper wizard. And he's just like groveling on the ground because he's being crushed by gravity at the moment. And he's like, "This is it, I'm dead. There's no way we'll beat this thing." And here comes swagged out, coming in, not even scared.
Yeah, with fire and confidence in his eyes.
Yeah. And man, Lucifero just like scrunches his face and he says, "Give that brat to me." And he's about to give the greatest smack in Shonen Jump history. He's loading up for it's not a back slap. He's like this. Right. He's about to slap the shit. Oh my god, it's my favorite panel. Probably.
He just pounds the ground and it creates a.
Oh my god! I'd like to think that it's just. I like to think that it's an across the face smack, because the way it's like coming down. But I love it. It's fantastic. Dodges
it. Sneak his head off his shoulder blades, but you've been looking at him for too long. That's what that was really about.
Yeah.
You're standing and looking at me.
Why did you take the boy away that I was stomping out with my bare foot? Give him back. Smack. But uses his star magic to warp away. And he tries to do the same thing kind of Asta did. Come up from behind, do a slashy slash with his sword. It does not work because he does not have anti-magic. And he's about to get wrecked by Lucifero, who looks back and is like, "Oh, you're done now."
You tried to slash me with that weak shit?
Yeah, get out of here, dude. And that's when Mara Leona comes in, full Kenpachi vibes, punching the shit out of Lucifero with her fire. And she and Yuno team up to face off against Lucifero. And basically, Mimosa is trying to cure Asta, and Seke is just trying to convince her to bounce, because he's a coward and all. And she just Seke can't believe that this is like, why are we staying here? We should just go. And he's having flashbacks of all everybody just like thinking he's awesome, and how Asta showed him otherwise, basically. And
remember in that foul shit, he said all at the beginning of the series.
Yeah.
And I remember reading that shit on the stream, man. I do remember him.
Yeah.
Being an A1 hater.
Yeah. It is an interesting thing to see, like, from these first few pages of the series, like how the art has changed, even like the little subtleties in the art. I appreciate it. Seke looks different. You know what I mean? He looks like less mature, I guess. Now he like looks younger. It's interesting. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but in any case, Mimosa is healing, and that's when Asta just gets up, and he's still bloodied and beaten. He's not completely healed yet. He just stands up, and this is actually one of my favorite panels in Black Clover. I just love how it's drawn, and I think like it very much encapsulates what Asta is about. But I'll get into more later. With that being said, Asta is just dragging himself to the battlefield. Mimosa is just trying to tell him to sit down because he's not healed yet. And Seke is just in disbelief. He's like, "You're still completely trashed. What are you going to do? What's the point?" And he just keeps trying to convince him that he's like nothing and he's going to lose by even trying.
Where has he been? Has he missed everything that's happened?
He's not part of the Black Bulls.
I get it, but like, wasn't the kingdom attacked and then a devil was there and Asta beat that guy? You know, remember that?
Yeah, I don't know if he was there for that. I think he's just been chilling with the king the whole time. So I don't know how much he knows about Asta's exploits. And he sees Asta like struggling off to the battlefield, and he thinks about all the times that he slacked off in his life, and he thinks to himself, why didn't I get stronger? And as he sees Asta going off, and he says, like you, big full page spread of Asta just still beaten up and on his way to battle. And that's where the chapter ends. Yeah, so let's throw it over to thoughts. Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
It was surprisingly deep for the series. I know I talked a lot of shit about this, like being like us going on a ride. I guess I was making that a commentary of just like how I've been enjoying this final fight, like in general. But man, just reflecting on this character, I think this was very real because, we're not all story protagonists. We're regular ass people going through real life shit, one way or another. We all have our unique struggles. And man, it was relatable because I think no matter how successful you think you are or you think you aren't, you could always look back and think, damn, I could have did more. And, seeing this guy, he fucked around. You know what I'm saying? That's the gist of it. He fucked around, thought he was cool, and now all this time has passed, some real shit's going down, and he's seen other people put in effort and train and look at where they're at. Even other characters, like the side characters, that they're not there right now, but they don't have to show that to make a point, in my opinion. So I thought low key, this was, I guess, really good writing and timing. I don't know. I'm kind of jaded when I know like a series is ending and they have all of this extra dialogue that's supposed to be emotional. Sometimes it kind of feels forced. This didn't feel forced at all, man. This wasn't like a redemption for the character. That was just him coming to gripes to something real, because he's just been playing around. Life has been like a joke for him. And it's almost like a wake-up call. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is a wake-up call for a lot of people, for us, for others reading. And not to be negative, not to say like, oh, you are wasting your time. It's just that, you can take grasp of your life at any point. Don't if you don't let it slide by. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. You could also say that it's not really good to compare yourself to others, but I don't think it's about Asta being better than him. It's about seeing someone that came from where he came from, and damn, like what if I had tried as hard as him?
Mm-hmm.
With the head start I had and the magical talent I had, he could have been using his magic instead of transporting over terrain. He could have been transported into different fucking universes or something, a different path. He could have had a spaceship spell that would have took them to another planet, and these devils would have came out like, oh, where's everybody at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was really deep for a Black Clover chapter.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
Yeah. I agree. This was my runner-up in terms of really good chapters of the week. I was really considering.
Oh yeah, this is number 2 for me.
Black Clover's been really good lately.
Guys are just too dope.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that like that one panel of him getting up and like beaten up is one of my favorite panels of the series, and I think it encapsulates a lot about Asta. I wanted to save like a lot of like the introspective Asta stuff for when eventually this series did come to an end. I'm not saying it's coming in tomorrow. I'm saying that at some point it is going to end, and I did want to like save this moment, but I guess this is a good time to like present the thesis of it, of what I was thinking. I like when Asta has these moments where it's just kind of like this quiet moments of strength. I think it's a lot more powerful than like the yelling type of thing that he does, because it really, this is Asta's true form, for lack of a better term. Like, this is who he is. He's a guy that like no matter what adversity is before him, like he was born into adversity, and he just like never loses hope. He never loses that like grind mentality. It is something to aspire to. And I think like what's really interesting about Black Clover is that as like full of tropes as it is, and as much as like kind of I give it shit for that, it is, when it's gone, I don't know if we'll ever have something like this again. Like he doesn't break the mold as a character, and neither does Black Clover as a series, but it is kind of like it is one of those things that's going to be the last remnants of what Jump was. Like it's the last class of a certain generation of what the tone of Shonen Jump was, because if you read anything from Shonen Jump, it's evolving. It's like becoming, there's more shades of gray in shonen manga these days, and that's not a bad thing at all. I mean, that's why we have Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man and series like that. But I don't know if we'll ever be actually rid of series like this. I'm just saying in a general sense, like, well, what Asta brings to the table will be less and less as time goes on, and what Black Clover brings to the table in general. And I'm just kind of like enjoying it for as long as it goes. And this is notwithstanding One Piece, of course. One Piece will be here till, I guess, we're all dead. But I kind of counted out of the conversation entirely because it's like on a different plane, basically. But yeah, I guess that's what I wanted to say. There are different, shades of gray being added to Jump, but I don't know. I don't think we'll get another series that's this boundlessly optimistic for a long time. Unless it's a sports manga, those tend to be generally very positive and uplifting. But
super positive.
Yeah, so who knows? I appreciate this chapter a lot, and I think it represents a lot of what Black Clover is about. And I respect it for that. So I think that's it for me. Do you have any more closing thoughts or rebuttals?
No, I just I thought those were just really nice thoughts. I mean, all right, yeah. It's the only thing I'll say is, again, as I think what stands out about Asta as a character is just the pure energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even that he's a super goody two shoes. He just kind of fights for like what he has his own version of justice. You know what I'm saying? And it just happens to align with the general version of justice, which is something I believe in, which I've said plenty of times. I think humans are how do you say that, biologically good people. We evolved to like, help each other. And that's how we beat out these big tough animals and shit and created cities and invented technology because we work together and share ideas, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what? I talked about that shit and lost my train of thought. I love our stuff. He's a dope protagonist.
Yeah.
Pure energy.
Pure.
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 Pure. All right. Let's move on. Undead Unluck. This is Undead Unluck, chapter 96, Ghost Soul. Last we left off, Fuko done died. So she gets one of these technically. And basically they did this whole maneuvering to to transport Andy and Fuko to the future via a deal with the moon. And now they're back directly when the Apocalypse book is about to reveal a new UMA known as Ghost. And as I said, the Ghost UMA comes out. And side note, I like the design. I think it's pretty cool. It pulls up, and because it exists, Fuko, as she dies, becomes a ghost as opposed to just her body passing away. Somebody commented on an Instagram story that the difference between a ghost and a soul is that souls, they're not like bound to this earth, I guess. When you die, your soul goes to wherever it goes. And ghosts are more souls that are here for unfinished business, I guess. As if you've ever watched the 1990s version of the Casper movie, it is unfinished business souls, so that's what happened. Fuko is a soul with unfinished business. So she's there. She has form. But she is intangible, of course, because she's a ghost. And that's when Ghost pulls up and is like, wow, this one has a form and it's one of the riper ones. I'm going to go nom it somewhere else. And it just like leaves. Andy tries to like beat it up with his blood, but it doesn't work because he's a ghost.
Yes, he's through him.
Andy chases after him with the Nimbus cloud, and he follows him to this town where everyone dead because the ruin guy fucking killed everyone and is now just like, he basically prepared a birthday present for Ghost in order to cozy up to it. And this thing just starts eating everyone's souls, I guess.
Poor people.
Yeah, it's not cool. And yeah, he says, well, in exchange for all these souls I got you, gobble that girl up. She's a pain in my side. And the ghost is like, I was going to save her for a special treat. And he's like, well, I guess that's true. We can't have this series end right now, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
For the sake of plot convenience, you can take her away and eat her later. And Andy tries to attack Ruin. Ruin, of course, he doesn't take any damage, really. Like, you see him cutting up, but he's still alive, and he's not remotely bothered by being cut, sliced, and diced.
He's still talking to him as he's getting cut up. It's like he's buggy.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. So I guess they all escape. Ghost, Ruin, and with Fuko in tow. Andy tries to chase after her. He puts out his hand for her, and they kind of touch, like before. But this time something different happens, because as the other members of Union pull up, they're like, did you not make it in time? Is she gone? And that's when he looks up into the sky. He sees a meteor coming, and he realizes that as long as her soul is still here, as it's not been devoured by what's his face, by Ghost, then she's still technically of this earth, more than they think. So yeah, now it's time for another Fuko rescue mission.
Noise.
Noise.
Well, it's still going.
Hey,
man, that dude was flaming us in the comment section. We was wrong. We was wrong. I thought this was it. I mean, this might still be the last one.
Well, I wouldn't say it was it. We didn't say it was going to end next chapter.
I feel like I was saying it was going to end this was it. Like right after this frame situation, we're going straight to God.
Listen, man, we've been around Shonen. We've been around Shonen Jump since we were children. You know, we know the writings on the wall when we see it, and we just get paranoid sometimes. We don't want to see it go, of course. And we're glad. If this is just another arc, bring it on, dude. But with that being said, I guess we should move on to thoughts. Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
I thought it was really funny, actually. I was excited that, you know, we are definitely getting another arc for this series. Guaranteed. And I don't know, I really had mixed feelings about it. It was fine for what it is. It's essentially a glorified transition chapter if we think about it. You know, they introduced this Uma Ghost, and I don't know, I guess that's what I was thinking. Like, as soon as they said Uma Ghost is now yours, I was like, is he gonna help them, or is he gonna just launch out there and be a ghost and probably be a nuisance? And you know,
yeah,
they shocked me a little bit because he pulled up right to them and became a nuisance. It was like, I'm not helping. I'm just gonna do me.
Yeah,
I guess not Fugo and bounce. I was not expecting any of that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I also
looking forward to seeing more.
Yeah, I also like this chapter. I thought it was fine. I love ghost design. You know, it reminds me of like Nightmare Before Christmas type shit. You know, I liked it.
The cloth and ghosty design. Yeah, it's very.
Yeah, this is like very Halloween Town.
Yeah,
he looks like a Heartless.
I like that aesthetic. Yeah.
He
like
looks
a Heartless from Halloween Town or something.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. I like his design. I'm glad that it's still around, and I can't wait. I don't really know. It feels a little repetitive to have another we gotta save Fuko arc, because I feel like that's what they've all been to a degree. Kinda. I mean, you know, I don't hate it, but it is what it is. I'm just glad it's here. I don't know who this Ruin guy is. I don't know what to make of him.
He is an asshole. That's what you can make of him. I don't know if he has something personal against her, or something personal against Andy, or if it's that he's really in unison with God and he knows that she can defeat God. I don't know what the motivation is, but it seems very personal, very antagonistic.
Yeah, it does feel personal, for sure.
And I think he for sure wants to prove that he's the better undead person.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking maybe we already know who this person is, and then like we just don't remember his look because it was a while ago. Maybe I have to look back into like that Andy flashback arc, and maybe just like he's there this whole time, and we just don't remember it.
Just like,
but I mean, those are all my thoughts. Do you have any closing statements before we move onward? All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Let us know what you think about this chapter in the comments below, or email us. Let us know. We'd love to start a dialogue about it. But with that being said, that has been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Oh my God, this was a fun one. A little short episode. I'm happy about it. A little fun time. Thank you guys for joining us. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Josh at JDCole_37 on Instagram, at NYChillin on Twitter. You can find Brian at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. Follow him on twitch.tv/itspunchline as well. He plays video games on there, and he's a fun boy to watch play video games. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. Follow us at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter especially for the really good chapter of the week poll that we put up every Sunday whenever the chapters come out. So usually when they go up, whenever the official release is out. And let us know what you think about what's your favorite series. So follow us there. You can comment under any video, whether it's the full version, the highlight breakouts we make for you guys. Let us know what you think about the show, about the chapters, whatever you want. Subscribe, like, share, all that stuff, whether it's on YouTube or the many audio podcast platforms that we are on, whether it's Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, you name it, we're on it. So thank you guys so much for listening, and stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace out.